Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. We're going to be talking Birkins, Kellys, and in particular, my wish to buy a shirt at Hermès and not being able to. In this video, it's all about Hermès, baby. We got the crop ready. Oh, and we are on a journey, aren't we? So check this out. Get your merch going, you guys. The Super Dacob merch, the Journey merch is out now at www.superdacob.com. But you can also purchase it in some Amazons, in some countries in Amazon. Now listen. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today and gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. Super Dacob all spelled together there for extra perks. Thank you to my members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live studio, well, virtual audience. I live stream every Saturday and you are all invited to join the live streams. Chat, welcome. Welcome, my dear chat. You guys, it's a little bit of a story time video. So I just came back from Melbourne where I had my world premiere of my movie with Vivienne Westwood, Art Lovers Unite. It went great. It was a sold-out premiere. We're going to have 3 more shows in Melbourne on the 23rd of September, 24th of September, and 25th of September. If you wish to see the movie, Vivienne Westwood is an icon, and it's wonderful to see her. So anyway, the movie's still playing for another 3 days. You can book your tickets at www.artloversunite.com under screenings. So I returned from Melbourne after the premiere, and now I went to Hermès because I wanted to buy a shirt. Actually, I had 2 shirts on my list, and I just needed them in a very big size, and I didn't care about the colorway. I just really love the cut of the shirts. If they would be lacking those particular seasonal shirts that I wanted, I would be also fine with a classic shirt. I want a couple of classic Poplin shirts or denim shirts. Well, anyway. So I go to Hermès, come in, talk to the sales associate. There was like 3 of them. I just kind of went with the one that I knew already because he used to work at Chanel, by the way. So he recognized me from Chanel. We never worked together at Chanel. I mean, he was never my sales associate at Chanel, but you know, he knows me from Chanel. So anyway, I tell him like, hey, I'm looking for this shirt. I go on the website. I show him the shirt. He's like, oh yeah, no, we don't have that shirt. I'm like, classic. Can you order it? No, we cannot order it. Okay. What about this shirt? I show the second shirt. Oh, sorry. No, we don't have that shirt. I'm like, can you order it? No, we cannot order it. Third shirt. Do you have this shirt? No. Okay. Fourth, do you have this shirt? No. Do you have these pants? No. I'm like, okay, you know what? At this point, I'm like getting really annoyed. I'm like, you know what? Just bring me out whatever shirt you have. Okay? I don't care about the style, the color. Just bring me out a shirt in a size 43/17. They're French. No, size. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think we have that size. I'll check. All right. Check, babes. Check, babes. Looking forward. So he's like, yeah, you can step into so the boutique is separated in center of the boutique, all the bags, all of them, and they're all exhibited on these 3 walls. Everything from the hack to the Kelly to the Birkin to the her bag to the garden party to the bolide. I mean, even stuff that I've never seen before. Like, but you cannot touch anything, and you cannot photograph anything, and you cannot buy anything. Then you have to the left side the male section, to the right side the female section. So I go into the male section where there's just a few pieces hanging and a lot of ties. Ties and a few random pieces. I'm like, okay, wow, they're not even really stocking up on clothes here. What are they selling? They don't sell the bags that occupy the whole central part of the boutique. They don't sell really the clothes because they don't have anything. So anyway, so I'm standing there waiting. He brings out 2 shirts in a size 43. One is so sheer, you can see my nipples through it. I'm like, yeah, this is way too thin for me. I would not feel comfortable with my nipples showing all the time. I mean, it's just, no. And the other one was kind of interesting, but really, really simple to a point where I'm like, it's very simple. And I'm like, but then I saw a pair of pants hanging really small. I'm like, oh, do you have these pants in a bigger size? He's like, oh, let me check. No. At this point, I'm standing there. I've tried on everything I could try on. He brings out another pair of shorts. I can't fit in them. They're too small for me. And then he's like, oh, that big. I'm like, now you're making fun of me for my size. I'm like, listen, the pandemic was rough, okay? Let a girl gain some weight. I can lose the weight again, but can you lose the attitude? At which point, he's like, oh, sorry. Because, by the way, he was bigger than me, just for the record. And I'm like, well, who made your pants, Missy? Who made your pants? You're wearing the Hermès uniform, so they obviously make a bigger size because you fit in them. Okay. So anyway, we digress. I tell him, listen, I tell him, I was like, why is this such a journey? I'm like, why does it always have to be such a torture journey? Why don't you have shirts? He's like, yeah, the Hermès journey. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's always the Kellys and the Birkins. And then if somebody comes in and wants something else and you don't have it. And then he kind of says, yeah, they're very popular bags. Are you interested? It didn't go quite like that. Technically, if I remember the exact conversation, how it went step by step, it was more like me saying, oh, this is such a journey. And then I said, I do like to travel though. And then we started talking about traveling, and I said, I just came back from Melbourne, really long trip. And I said that I got a keepall for the occasion. He mentioned that, a bigger size Birkin or a hack is also good for traveling. And I said, well, if I were to ever consider getting a Birkin, I would get a big one, size 40, or if it exists even in bigger. And I would love to just use it as a travel bag all the time. To use and abuse without babying it, buying a little teeny tiny one to put a twilly on it. I want a bag. I want a tank. I want a tank of a bag that's going to last me at least 20 years. And he says, and his eyes kind of light up because I think it was refreshing for him to hear somebody talk about a Birkin that way for once, instead of just, Anyway, I didn't say I want one. I said, if I were to get one, it would be that type of Birkin. And then I said, and it would be in box cal for Barenia. He's like, oh, yes, well, you could place a wish. I can talk to the manager. And I'm like, no, don't stress yourself. He's like, no. And he runs off. At this point, I'm like, wait, what just happened here? Because I want a shirt. But he kind of shifted the conversation to the bags. And then all of a sudden, he's asking the manager for a wish list. And I'm like thinking to myself, I really did not come here to buy a big ass 40 Birkin or something that's going to cost like 20K. I'm like, no, this is not happening. But anyway, he comes back and says, okay, yes, I've talked to the manager. Okay, she's going to come out. He leaves again. He's talking to another client. It's all a blur. I'm just standing in the middle of the room at this point thinking to myself, what the hell just happened here? I came in for a shirt. Now they're making it sound like I'm asking them for a Birkin, but I'm not asking them for a Birkin. I'm wearing my shorts, my Michael Myers shirt, button-up shirt. I'm super chill. Like, I'm not going to dress up for you just because you're Hermès. I'm going to be comfy, boo-boo. Because I'm saying this because the store manager chick comes out. She's a total biatch, right? She comes out, she scans me from head to toe and says, and I'm already thinking, girl, don't. Zon zoe. You don't want to go there with me because, girl. And I did have my Chanel fanny bag with me though, just to balance out the whole situation. Anyway, she says, "Oh, Monsieur, we're so sorry. But these heritage leathers, we can't order them, like box, calf, barenia. Those are not, it's not possible. You can get a variety of those standard leathers, so, the wish can be a Togo leather, for example. The guy did mention, he's like, yeah, Togo is good because it's not going to scratch as easily, because box calf can scratch easily. Togo is more robust. It's more like you could throw it around easier. It's a bit lighter leather, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, okay. Now they're telling me what to get. Now, not only is it they're telling me to get a Birkin, they're also telling me which one to get. And I'm just like standing there thinking to myself, what is going on here? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, if it's practical, I guess Togo in black with gold hardware, they're like, So she's like, but, nothing is a guarantee here. Nothing is a guarantee. You could just place a wish, but to place a wish, you need an appointment. I'm like, you literally just told me what I should buy. What appointment what are you talking about? I'm still totally confused. And I still want my shirt. I still want my shirt, Hermès. What's going on? She disappears again. He runs off after her. I'm standing alone in the room. The security guy keeps attacking some Asian tourists that keep wanting to photograph the bags, and he keeps jumping on them saying, no photos of the bags, no photos of the bags. It was an asylum. It was, I kid you not, I felt like I was in the loony bin. In the loony bin. Like I'm stuck in this void where I'm like, I literally just came in for a shirt. Why do I feel like I'm in a Franz Kafka book? Like The Process, all of a sudden. The Trial, not The Process, The Trial, Kafka's book. Beautiful movie by Orson Welles, by the way. He did a great rendition of the book. Anyway, with Jean Moreau. And with Anthony Perkins, who was in Psycho. He was Norman Bates. Anyway, we digress. So, she's like, scanning me, says, need the wish. She runs off. He runs off with her. I'm alone. He comes back again and he's like, oh, sorry. I'm so sorry to have to tell you we don't have slots available for the wish appointment. At that point, I look at him and I'm like, I did not make a request for a wish appointment. What are you talking about? You started the whole conversation. And now you're telling me, so sorry. I'm like, why are you denying me something I'm not asking for? Please make it make sense. And then he says, we can only make appointments 2 weeks. He keeps talking he's in his own movie. Okay. He is in his own movie and I'm in my movie. And I was making this example before and I said, it's so funny. Like when my dad was alive, may he rest in peace. He was, tired in the evenings and then he would start watching a movie, falls asleep midway through the movie. The movie ends, another movie begins. Then he wakes up midway through the other movie and then he thinks that the second half of the second movie is part of the first movie. But they're two different movies. It's just that he slept through the second portion of the first movie and the first portion of the second movie, and then he combined the beginning of the first movie with the end of the second movie, and then he got totally confused. That's how I felt. I was like, the guy is in another movie than me. And so he says, yeah, I'm telling him like, I didn't ask for this. And he just ignored that. He just kept going and saying, yeah, so sorry, but we can only make appointments up to 2 weeks in advance, and all the appointments, all the slots have filled up for the next 2 weeks. But here's a phone number, and he hands me this card with a teeny tiny, I kid you not, almost like, so if the business card is this big, it's all empty. Only at the bottom here, there's a minuscule little number you can hardly see. He's like, call this number. I'm like, what for? What for? He's like, because you call this number every day early in the morning and there might be an appointment for you. But we don't guarantee it. But call every day. I'm like, hold on. You have me in the system. I'm your client. I bought stuff. You know my phone number, my everything. What do I have to call you for? You got something to tell me? You call me. It's like, no, we don't do that. You have to call us. I was like, what for? He's like, for the wish appointment. I'm like, what's a wish appointment? You told me, you literally told me what I should get. You know, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, but we can't do this. We can't do this. And now he's getting all dramatic. And I'm like, I do not, I don't want this. At that point, I said to him, you know what? Never mind. Thank you so much. I'm going to try to go to the other Hermès store to see if they have the shirt I'm looking for. He gave me a paper with a written code for the pants that I was also looking for. He said, maybe the other boutique has it in your size, but call this number. I'm like, thank you very much for nothing. Bye. And I left. And it made me feel miserable because seriously, it's like, I guess they're programmed to only serve customers that want these bags. And if you want something else, they're not prepared for it. And they kind of veer the conversation to the bags automatically. And it just all becomes all about the bags. The whole store is all about the bags, but they don't sell you the bag. I mean, Hermès has become, it's really sad because it's become this weird monument of deceit and illusions, and I guess it only works and functions if you're really very rich and you're spending a lot of money in all departments, buying whatever you need to buy in order to get, I guess, your appointment. But even for somebody who's not asking for it, they still make it about the bag. And I really don't understand. This is really, really bad. It's sad, actually. It made me feel really depressed. Really depressed. Really, really depressed. So yeah, that's basically my story time. Now, in that entire process, he did show me on the wall of all the bags that you cannot buy, a hack 40 black, which I did try. Humongous amount, of glazing on it, like really not cute, but interesting size. The 40 was a good size. It could be even bigger, but the 40 is okay for my body type. I looked in the mirror and I thought, cute. Did it sweep me off my feet? No. I thought, but hey, if the quality of this leather is so good that it's going to last me a lifetime, okay. I can appreciate the design of the bag because of its quality too. That's okay. Given all the heartbreak I've had recently with other luxury brands, I was like, well, maybe this is the only one left for me to try on this level, at least, And, but the actual handle of the hack is very short. So there's not much you can do with it. You can literally just lift and walk. You can't really put it, like it doesn't fit. So anyway, at least I saw the hack. I thought it was kind of interesting. It's like a deeper build than a Birkin, but yeah, that was just, while I was trying it on, the security guy was making very sure that I wouldn't take any pictures. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to take a picture. Don't. Anyway. So that's my story. Morning glory. Quite depressing experience. And needless to say, I did not find my shirt, nor did I find my pants. But while looking for a shirt and pants, I was denied an appointment that I didn't ask for a bag that I didn't ask for. Make that make sense, Hermès. I am confusion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I guess the journey continues. Live and ferret. Thank you guys so much for watching. Never forget to never give up on love and subscribe.